I am a potter, not the kind that does magic. I'm the other kind. I turn mud into art. I make pots. It has been my lifelong profession, and before I was a potter, I was a child. I decided to follow this path in order to be a better me. But what I have discovered over the past 38 years of working with clay is that it's not actually about me. Well, it's not all. It's about us, we humans, and our relationship with each other and with the world around us. It's about being a part of nature, and it's about becoming a form of nature. As a child, when I first saw a potter making pots, it was like magic. I watched him take a piece of formless clay and throw it on the wheel, and from the moment his fingers touched the surface of the turning clay, it was as if it came to life, rising and falling, spiralling up and billowing out into perfect curves. It was as if the clay was dancing to the movements of his hands, as if he was a force of nature and the clay was rising up into the shape of his imagination. And all the time he sat quietly and calmly, and he was engrossed in the process, as if it was a meditation. And then he cut the pot from the wheel, put it on the board beside him, and without a wasted movement, took another board and did it again. It was like watching a bird fly, completely at one with its environment. It was one of the most beautiful things that I have ever seen. I bought one of his pots, and I gave it to my mother. And every time I saw that pot, I remembered that moment of magic. Every time I touched it, it was as if I was touching the potter's hand. And that was the magic that I expected to happen when I was able to learn pottery at junior high school. Sadly, however, there was no magic. There was just mud. Mud all over me, mud all over the wheel, everywhere except in the centre of the wheel where it was supposed to be, and bearing no resemblance whatsoever to a pot. And the harder I tried, the worse it got. It was one of the most frustrating things I'd ever done. And that is the point at which most people would give up. However, I had seen the potter making pots as if he were breathing. And if he could do it, then I should be able to do it as well. It took me years to understand what I was doing wrong. You see, there was nothing wrong with the clay. The problem was me. The clay was exactly as it should be, the product of billions of years of elements being forged in the hearts of stars colliding and exploding into dust, which reformed into new stars and new planets like our own. Millions of years of volcanic action and erosion, grinding and crushing the Earth's crust into a fine-grained material, which gravity washed down into lake beds and valleys. A wondrous material, granted plasticity by cosmic powers that drew its particles together and yet held them just far enough apart they would slide against each other and yet retain a form. The basic matter of the universe, in perfect harmony with fundamental forces. Mud. The same primordial mud from which life sprang and evolved into all the myriad forms which fill our world with such beauty. Plants which draw minerals from the mud and use the power of sunlight to take carbon from the air and build their structure. Animals which evolved into a race which was aware of itself as part of creation. A race that looked at the world around it and found great joy in the wonder and beauty of its ever-changing lives. Us. We are a part of nature, and it is a part of us. We are made of it. We breathe it in, we breathe it out. We eat it, we drink it, and in the end, we become part of it once again. We are that part of nature that looks at itself and gives itself meaning. When we see the battle of the world dancing in harmony with universal forces, it fills us with great joy because we are a part of it. And regardless of age or race, gender or social circumstance, when we see a sunset, it fills us with an understanding of beauty. And we have and we share a common understanding of beauty because we are a part of nature. We like to think of ourselves as being separate, different, special. And in a sense we are, because each of us experiences the world from a unique perspective, sees the world through different eyes, lives their life in a way that no other human ever has. And though we see the world and the beauty of the world as it is, we can imagine it as something it could be. At the moment when we express that unique perspective, communicate to others, and get informed, we become a force of nature. Our imaginations affecting the material world and taking what nature has provided for us and creating something new. The universe is beautiful without human interference. But nature went so far as to make coffee beans, but it took us to make cappuccino and the cup pudding. So when I was learning how to make pots, it was that very ability to affect the material world which was getting in my way. The problem was me. I was trying to bend the clay to my will and forgetting that there were already universal forces at work on the clay. Gravity, momentum, centrifugal force, the properties of the clay itself. It took me years to understand that my role as a potter was to stay still and to wait for the clay to align itself to universal forces that were at work, and then to guide it into the shape of my imagination. To move my hands and fingers around the shape of my imagined vessel, and to wait for the clay to flow between them and fill the space where my fingers were not. I discovered that beauty springs from a process which is in harmony with natural forces, not something which is imposed upon material without acknowledging the nature of the material itself. I know that beauty can be part of every step of the process, even before the clay gets to the wheel. When I'm blending the clay, rocking it backwards and forwards, using its own weight and momentum, like a pendulum, folding it in on itself, and it takes on a conical, shell-like structure. When I make a bowl on the wheel, gravity and the properties of the clay create a curve between self-supporting and beauty. As my finger moves across the surface, it leaves a perfect spiral, like an ammonite or a fern. And none of it is measured or calculated, any more than a mollusk will take out a piece of paper and a pencil and work out the Fibonacci sequence necessary to make a perfect shell. It happens when matter is interacting with the laws of physics. And in those moments, I lose my sense of separateness. I become part of the process, and my imagination becomes a force of nature. When I put my pots into the kiln, I put straw across them, and I fire them with wood. When the carbon burns off those materials, the minerals that remain melt and become a glass, which makes perfect patterns which fit the form of the pots. The flame weaves between the pots and touches the pots as it passes leading patterns, and softens the pots so that they move into soft curves. My role is to guide the clay, guide the fire through the pots, trusting it to change them, knowing that I am part of the process too. And when the pots emerge from the kiln, they are something new. They are an expression in real form of my love of life, of the beauty of nature, and of my joy in being a part of it. But it doesn't stop there. The vessels then become part of other people's lives. And in your hands, they take on new meaning. They become part of a conversation between nature and humanity, between the clay and the potter, between the maker and the user. A dialogue which nature has been having through human voices and actions since we first looked at the world around us and were moved by its beauty. A dialogue in which we all have a voice. A potter is someone who takes mud and turns it into art. The materials are earth and water to form the pots, air and fire to transmute them into a new ceramic material which may last for 20,000 years. The tools can be as simple as a wooden wheel, a pair of hands, and a piece of string. The forces with which we work, however, are universal. And one of those forces is our own imagination. As we humans reach out to the stars, I wonder what new beauty we will find. Imagine a pot made in zero gravity, or fire with the heat of re-entry, or made with the clay of a distant planet. Who knows where our imagination can take us? And even those of us with our feet on the ground and our hands in the mud can be part of that journey. You are a part of nature, and you don't need to be a potter to understand that. You are that part that looks at itself and says, this is beautiful. And it doesn't matter whether you find your voice through art or through science or any other law. Whatever your passion may be, you are also a force of nature with the ability to make what you imagine into a reality. What you do with that is up to you.